Hey everyone, Kaitlin here. Thanks for watching another episode of Baldwin Breakdowns, where I take big concepts, big ideas, and a lot of big feelings and break them down to see how they can fit into your day-to-day life. So big feelings are kind of the topic for today, and I really wanted to go through how to know if I'm avoiding. And by avoiding, I mean what I call experiential avoidance, which is the ways that we avoid all of our internal experiences, all the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings, the memories that come up, kind of those ways that we, push them down or we try to block them out and just kind of keep pushing through them, keep going. And I wanted to go through this because experiential avoidance is one of the biggest things that I tackle in my work with people. And it's also a huge contributor and correlate with feelings of general anxiety, general unease, and unhappiness. It can often come back to this place of, avoiding what's truly going on for you. So I wanted to go through some kind of telltale signs that we can all start using to just notice and be aware of the times when we're more likely to avoid or even bring attention to how often we're doing it. So the first one I wanted to talk about is one I think a lot of people struggle with, myself included, which is keeping yourself constantly busy. There's a Brene Brown quote that says, if there were AA for keep busy-aholics, it would be packed full every single night, because a lot of us do this. We will overpack our schedules, we'll multitask, we'll kind of keep so busy and constantly focus on the next thing that we really never have a moment to pause. And this typically comes along with this discomfort or unease whenever there's kind of a moment of quiet or stillness. And so I'll notice this in a session with clients when they might go on a long tangent, speak for a long stretch of time, and then stop. And there's this pause, and they don't like it at all. They might start fidgeting, they might start, deflecting and kind of talking about another thing. And so if you notice that you are a person to constantly keep yourself busy, constantly be doing, the next thing or preparing for the next thing, and you find that discomfort with, those moments of quiet and stillness, it might be a sign that you're avoiding what's actually going on internally and kind of focusing so much on what's going on externally. Another one that I didn't know if I was going to talk about in this because it's such a brief video, but I think it's really important, is if you find yourself being really quick to anger or quick to get really frustrated. Anger kind of has a bad rap, and people judge it and say that, you should just control it and keep it down. But really, if, we think about emotions or experiences as an onion, anger is kind of the outer layer. And if we pull those layers back, what you're usually going to come to, if you pull enough times, is either sadness or fear. And so anger is something that we'll do to avoid those inner emotions of sadness or fear or even shame, because anger feels like we've got some control. We are protected, because we're putting out this aggressive front, and maybe we're able to deflect the responsibility onto someone else. So if I'm really hurt at something that someone has said and it makes me feel really sad, it might feel easier for me to get angry at that person and yell at them and scream at them and blame them, rather than admitting that I actually feel hurt and sad, because that feels a bit more vulnerable. So if you find yourself being really quick to anger and snap and kind of feel frustrated, it again might be a sign that you're avoiding some of those internal experiences, the ones that are a bit deeper down. And the last one I want to talk about quickly is if you find yourself numbing or zoning out. And this can be kind of hard to decipher, because the activities we use to numb can be, or often are, things that bring us a lot of pleasure, things that we enjoy, like watching TV or movies, having sex, eating, shopping, which in moderation are all great for us. But if we find ourselves doing these things for huge stretches of time, or we're kind of on autopilot when we're doing them and really just zoned out and not engaged in the present moment, that can be a sign, especially if it's chronic and it's happening a lot, that we are kind of numbing ourselves and keeping ourselves distanced from whatever's going on. So I hope that breakdown was helpful, and I'll catch you guys next week for another episode. Bye.